This is part 3 of 3 in my very last video on Supergirl villains. Starting off is Bizarro Supergirl, who I thought was not really the best. I thought she didn't really feel like Bizarro or even an evil Supergirl. She just came across as kind of like a zombie. I did like their fight scenes between her and Supergirl, and I think Mxyzptlk is a great actress. However, I feel as if she couldn't really bring in the whole deformed factor of Bizarro and kind of made Bizarro just a regular clone. No disrespect towards Melissa Benoist for that, because like I said, I think she's a great actress. I just don't think that Bizarro Supergirl was exactly her best role, which is very unfortunate, as I feel like Bizarro Supergirl could have been a pretty good villain, but due to the fact that she was kind of minimized to only 3 episodes, to which she was just strapped to a table, she didn't really get much to do. Next is another evil Supergirl, and that is Red Daughter. And while I don't think Melissa Benoist did a good job with Bizarro Supergirl, I think she did a great job with Red Daughter. As while I don't really buy the whole deform factor of Melissa Benoist's portrayal of Bizarro, I think she brings in a lot of different elements when it comes to Red Daughter. As Red Daughter is, while kind of a clone of Supergirl, she's much more empathetic and makes the character a lot more like you actually care for her. Therefore, I think Melissa Benoist does a great job by making you actually care about Red Daughter, which I didn't actually see coming. As I anticipated Red Daughter just be a regular villain, but at the end of the day, she was more or less a misunderstood character. And not even a villain, but I still included her on this list, as I thought she still kind of deserved to be on this list, as she did kill some people. So Red Daughter, while she is technically a villain, she was still a very empathetic character, and I thought was a very good character. Their sacrifice at the end of the season was, in my opinion, surprisingly sad. As well, we probably all saw it coming. It did make you kind of shed a tear due to the fact that you really felt like Red Daughter deserved more, but due to Lex Luther, she ended up just getting, manipulated into actually murdering people. Final evil Supergirl on this list is Overgirl, who I thought was an okay villain. Not like a similar situation as Red Daughter. I didn't think she was really empathetic, but like, for example, I thought the character was pretty okay. However, I will say this, I do think that her whole fight with Supergirl was really impressive, but this is something I was a little confused by, and that is, why does it seem like Overgirl doesn't understand how to use her powers? Because Supergirl was kicking her butt, and I understand that because Supergirl, of course, is the hero, but it really came across like Overgirl was not that bright in a fight, which is weird because she was actually made to fight, unlike Supergirl, who wasn't, raised to fight as a child, instead became a superhero once she was an adult. Overgirl, on the other hand, was actually trained from the get-go of having powers. So it doesn't really make much sense that Overgirl was so easily defeated by Supergirl. Of course, like I said, Supergirl is, of course, the hero, and I do believe she, of course, could beat Overgirl, but I thought it was a little odd that she easily did it. Overgirl, in my opinion, was an okay villain. Not a great one, not a bad one, just an okay one. And Melissa Benoist, like always, is a great actress. I thought she did bring a lot to the role, but I will say this, I don't really buy Melissa as a villain, because, like I said, I think Melissa is, like, a very sweet person. I'm not trying to insult her by saying that. I'm just trying to say I don't really buy her as a villain. So I think she does a great job as Supergirl and a great job as Red Daughter, but as Overgirl and Bizarro, I don't really buy it that much. But I do feel like I said, Melissa is always a great actress, so even if I don't buy it, I still kind of think that she was good in the role of Overgirl. Next is Metallo, who, well, I would say that isn't really like his comic book counterpart. Like, I liked him in season 2, but it didn't really go anywhere. But when he came back-ish during Crisis on Earth X, I thought he looked really, really cool. Even if he didn't really act like Metallo, he looked even more like him, which, in my opinion, made him feel like Metallo more than even season 2 did. Who I thought, acted more like Metallo. He didn't really look like Metallo. So I'd rather take over the comic accurate look rather than the comic accurate personality. Which is, of course, an opinion, because when it comes down to a lot of characters, I probably wouldn't have the same opinion over that. But I think Metallo is one of those characters who just, visually looks so stunning that you automatically like him, but his personality-wise isn't something that you're like, oh, I like his personality. No, you like the big metal robot with kryptonite in his chest. So I was fine with the idea that the character's personality was very different. Overall, I thought the character, like I said, looks very, very cool. So, yeah. There's not really much to talk about Metallo because he didn't really do much. And that's kind of sad because I really do wish the character did get to do more. Because I thought the character, like I said, did look cool, had a cool power set, made an actual threat out of the character's abilities. Therefore, I think the character could have done a lot more than he actually did. Next is Mr. Mxyzptlk, who I thought was not exactly my favorite when he first appeared in Season 2, but when he came back for Season 5 as the whole purpose of the 100th episode, I thought he was a much better character and a lot more entertaining. However, when it came down to his appearance in Season 6, his character, while I thought he did have some good quirks like his whole song, he, for some unknown reason, just kind of disappeared. Perhaps I'm the only one who didn't realize that him being trapped in that stone would kill him, because I didn't think that would kill him, and nor did a lot of other people on the internet. But apparently that did kill him because he's never revived, nor does he ever come back, or even mentioned of what happened. So it's a little odd what was going on there, as it kind of feels like they were planning on doing something with the character, only for him to just fade in the background. Well, not even the background, just never come back for literally no reason. So that was a little odd to me. And I did like his whole thing with Nyxly. However, I was a little bit surprised that Nyxly didn't seem to be so shocked when they found out that Kara knew Mr. Mxyzptlk, but I was fine with that. Either way, I thought the character was also very endearing with who the second actor who portrayed him, and I thought it made the character come across a lot more sweet rather than creepy like he did in Season 2. Maxwell Lord. I loved Maxwell Lord. Like, he actually made me want to watch more of the first season, because I was a little scared from the first season because I really dislike Astra and Non, to the point where I was like, is this show really for me? Like, I like the heroes, but the villains are making me want to rub my eyes out. But then Maxwell Lord came on screen, and Cat Grant too, and I thought they really made me want to continue watching the show, and I'm glad I did, because I really like this show. Maxwell Lord, in my opinion, was a great villain, great anti-hero, great hero, just a great character. And I think the character really did not exactly overshadow a lot of other characters, but he mixed well with them, and while he didn't really, like, overcome them, he really does, I think, shine away from other characters. He really pops when he's on screen. He's great at showing scenery, and I'm really sad that he didn't come back after Season 1, as the reason why he didn't come back wasn't the same as Lucy Lane. Lucy Lane didn't come back because the actress didn't want to return. Maxwell Lord didn't come back because the writers thought that he was redeemed and didn't know what to do with him afterwards. And that's kind of disappointing because I think the character could have done a lot afterwards. But, unfortunately, we'll never know. I really wish he was a series regular in Season 2 and could have had some weird synergy with Lillian Luthor. But we didn't see that. Nor will we ever. Lillian Luthor. I thought the character was at points really, really bad, and at points really, really good. It depended where you were on the show. I did not like her in Season 2. I thought the character was overly dramatic, overacting, just overall not really the best character. However, after Season 2, I thought the character really came into her own. Especially due to the fact that she got a lot more scenes with her daughter and son, which, in my opinion, made the character more interesting and added a more layer onto the fact that she is a more or less, not really a villain, but a more complicated individual when it comes down to her family. Morgan Edge. I also really like Morgan Edge, and I'm really sad that he, too, like Maxwell Lord, just kind of disappeared. I thought he was going to be a big villain in Season 3, but that didn't end up happening. Instead, after only 4 episodes, the character kind of just vanished. Well, he got arrested, but he only appeared in 4 episodes before never coming back. Which is unfortunate, because I would have liked to have him return and perhaps have a, more or less, not really like a Lex Luther role, but maybe like a looming threat type of role. But that never happened. And finally, Parasite. I thought Parasite looked really, really cool, especially for a TV show budget. But he didn't really do much. Like, he looked scary, he looked really cool, his powers were visually interesting, but after only 1 episode, he was killed off. He did return very briefly, being resurrected by Mr. Mxyzptlk, but that was really it. Which is unfortunate, because I feel like he could have made a really good recurring villain. And that's it. Like always, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.